Hi, and welcome to my Book and Build project. I am using the program called eMaze from Trisha's Symbaloo. I looked at a couple of different ones and I settled on eMaze because honestly, I liked this little template that it had with it. I thought it was absolutely adorable. And then a few of the others looked a little not complicated, but also some of them you had to pay money for. I did find out as I went along, I was building on this, everything was going great till I tried to download it and then it costs money. So I am just watching it in view mode and recording it with my VR Spot. So the first thing that I was supposed to do is show you my snowflake. I did use the program to plan it out, which was kind of fun. I can't wait to use that with my kiddos because it was a snowflake factory in my classroom before our winter break. So don't freak out. I know you're not supposed to eat the yellow snow, but my yellow snowflake is A-okay, I swear. I thought that would be funny that it would be a yellow snowflake. I wanted to tie the snowflake into this build, however, in the book that I chose. So I actually hid some hints as to what my book might be about. And so if you look really closely, you'll see hats. It's a lead into the book that I've selected for the project. One of those is supposed to be a cowboy hat. The other one, that's supposed to be a knit hat, like with the fuzz pom-poms on top. And then this other one, it's I don't know, a top hat. Let's just go with that. So the book that I chose is Do You Have a Hat by Eileen Spinelli. This is a really cute book. I have had it in my classroom. Originally, when I started this project, I knew I wanted it to be hat-based. And so I was going to pick a book by John Clausen called This Is Not My Hat, which if you haven't read it, it's an absolutely hilarious story about a fish that steals a hat and is convinced that he won't get caught. And it's crazy funny. But I ended up picking this one because I like this. It's actually a little bit of creative nonfiction. And what Eileen Spinelli is doing is talking about famous hats in history and people who wore them. Let's listen to a little snippet now.
Do you have a hat? Written by Eileen Spinelli. Illustrated by Helen Valley. Do you know? Somebody says to keep the snowflakes out of the night. Or will you snowflake at noon when the sun shines down on you? Do you? Francisco de Cabo, a young kids in the hat, a clever little singer. But now starting out blank for painting far into the end. Do you know? Igor Stravinsky, a tenor by William Lamar. He wrote every single day, but he's so clever enough to figure out how to write it. Do you remember? A tyrant hangs clothes and chairs. Uses branches and barley. Plant bananas by the bunch. Happy friends could eat them lunch.
So you get an idea, and they talk about all kinds of people like Johnny Appleseed with the pot on his head. And it's a very, very cute story with wonderful illustrations, and it's told in a rhyming picture book style that's really pleasing to hear. So for this craft, I knew that I wanted to make a hat, and there are so many options out there from the traditional folded newspaper hat to just all kinds. But I really thought this one was interesting, and it's simple, it's easy. There's 2 materials needed and only 3 steps, so anybody could make this. But I thought it also had some options for really extending out the learning as well. And a true confession, I had a paper plate, so that helped. The only materials that you have to have are a paper plate and some scissors. Optional items are tape, paper, other decorations, jewels, paint, marker, glitter, anything else that you could want in order to decorate it. The first step is simply to poke a small hole in the middle of the paper plate. I did this with my scissors. Um, for younger kids, they should get an adult to help if needed. You could even have them poke it with their pencil tip and then start the cut if you didn't want them to use their scissors. Step number 2 was just to cut right across, right up until the edge of the plate. You don't want to cut too far because the edge of the plate is going to become the brim of the hat. So then you're going to make 8 sections like a pizza. This is a great opportunity to review fractions or talk about fractions with kids, because the first thing that you want to do is make your cut across in half and then in quarters and then half those quarters, and you get 8 sections. Step number 3 was very simple. You're going to fold each section upwards to where the cut stops at the edge of the plate, and so you've got a brim and all these 8 sections sticking straight up like this, like the bottom picture. And then ta-da, your paper hat, it's finished. I decorated mine with some stars that I cut out from the same yellow paper. I apparently have a lot of that lying around the house. And now the answer to do you have a hat is yes. Now you have a hat. When you're thinking about this project with the UTEC model, the craft that I just showed you is that using stage, where it's a guided build, it's very simple, and it's just making that plain base for the hat together. That is just everybody using a material and creating the same thing. For the tinkering stage, that's where they could get those optional items and really customize their hat and decorate it. The easiest thing to do would be to start with those simple, cheap white paper plates. Then kids can paint them and glue them and cut them and do whatever, glitter them, anything that they want. And that would be that tinkering stage where you've taken that basic build and stepped it up a little bit. The E stage for experimenting, for this one, you could start with that plain paper plate, but see if they, after you've created the using stage, see if they can come up with another way to cut it that doesn't involve exactly the same method, exactly the same cuts. You could even give them 2 paper plates and let them design something as well. How could they take the original design, same materials, but alter it just a little bit? And then the final stage, creating. For this one, I would use this creating model to really challenge my students. After reading the book and seeing all these different types of hats, provide them with just a variety of materials beyond just paper plates, and create an open-ended challenge so that they had to create any type of wearable hat using any of the materials available. And that's where having a bunch of recyclables would be really beneficial, and it would be fun to see the different things that they come up with. I hope you enjoyed my book and build. I can't wait to see what everyone comes up with, because I love using these in my classroom. This is using a book and build and connecting it to literature is a great way to start with a simple make very easily. And I hope it helps. Have a good day.